everybody, welcome back to Skillopedia guys. This is me, Meera. Well, today I'm going to ask you a quick question. Has it ever been that you have tried saying something to someone? Okay, maybe you meant well, right? You meant it for the right reasons. But people have just took you in a negative way and have said things like, please, you don't tell me what I have to do. Or, wait, I don't get it. Why are you the one who's telling me this? Well, in another sense, maybe you are the one who is saying things like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. Or, hey, come on, you know that I didn't mean that. Or you're saying, hey, you've taken me in a wrong way. I didn't mean it that way. Please understand. Well, what is happening here? What is happening is you are being misunderstood. Yes. And this is a sign of clear bad communication. Well, now, why is it bad communication? It is because you have to explain yourself a lot to others, right? Even if you mean well. And it is bad communication because people do not understand and you are being misunderstood. Well, I think it's a pretty bad thing to have within ourselves. Bad communication, which is misunderstanding. Today, let us get to know what are these things that we are doing that is making us misunderstood, right? I don't want my viewers to be misunderstood. I want your communication to be smooth as water. All right, guys, let's get started and let's get to know what are these reasons and why are we misunderstood at all. Well, there are times when we are really thinking that, oh my God, I'm talking such smart things, such intelligent words that I'm learning on Let's Talk and I'm using them with people. But the point is, have you checked the audience around you? Have you scanned the room and the people before you talk? Chances are that you're trying to use really smart words and intelligent words with people who cannot associate with it. And obviously, if you are going to say words that are completely not in my dictionary, what am I going to think? I'm just not going to understand it. And I might just, have a deaf ear on your words because I am not going to associate with your sentences. And slowly, I will stop hearing you and start thinking that, oh well, there she goes again with her smartness. Well, clearly you're not the smart one anymore. You just become the foolish one now. So my suggestion to this problem is just scan the room, understand your audience. Are you talking to elder people? Then try to use a language that they understand and not some slang words because they clearly just won't understand you. Just see if they're your peers or your colleagues or your friends, and then you can make sure that you can keep the really intelligent words saved for your work or for the other people, but not for your friends. If you're talking with young people, well, go all out and just see and take a risk at what you think can be used with them. Maybe you'll just end up teaching them something new. The point is, make sure you scan the room so that you're not being misunderstood as the one who's the snobbish person who can only talk too hoity-toity and nothing too normal so as to make people understand you better. Hey, how about when two people are talking or when someone is talking, you suddenly have to put your nose in with a point or a view of your own? Does it happen to you? The point is, does it happen to you often? Do you break people's sentences and barge in with your point of view and what you have to say? Well, no matter if you're at workplace, if you're in college, school, in the middle of friends or family, you must quit this habit. Because the person who barges in is simply disrespectful, right? And then he is in turn disrespected by others. Maybe, yes, you have the right point of view. Maybe you have something really, really valuable to share. But when you start sharing it by just pricking in while somebody else is talking, they are not going to appreciate it, they're not going to listen to it. And automatically, you become the one who is the disrespectful one, and you will face negative consequences for this. Why? The next time when you have something valuable, they will not listen to you. Instead, they might just take a wrong turn and go on a wrong path, and you just might be blamed for it. Well, guys, make sure that you do not barge in. Wait for your turn, wait for the right turn, particularly when you know you have something valuable to share. Wait till the time you get that value from people. Once you gain that respect, see the way the world looks at you and the way people listen to your points. Well, guys, the next one just happened to be my problem that I was misunderstood often. You know what that was? I spoke without checking the weather. Well, what I mean to say is that I used to say things to people without understanding in which situation they are. Now, for example, I remember that my mother used to come home tired from work, and I used to say things like, "Mom, why did you make today's food so bland? I mean, I wanted to have something interesting." And the chances were that she really, really slapped me with words and said, "Well, if that's the problem, Meera, why don't you just cook for yourself from tomorrow onwards? I'll be happy not to cook at all." And who got in trouble? Me. And when she used to say things like, I will be happy not to cook again, I used to think that my mother is so mean and so inconsiderate towards her own children. Well, guys, the problem is I never understood or considered in which situation or mood she's in. You know, she's come back from work, she might have faced horrible traffic on her way, she's cooked all day for us as well. And then I still passed a comment without understanding her position. And that is what I mean when I say, check the weather before you speak. Well, all those girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands and wife, parents and daughters or sons, this is your problem. You always think your emotions have to play the first priority and not somebody else's. But the chances are you will always be stuck thinking wrong about others, and people will think of you as a complete moron who just doesn't understand others. Try not to be that person. I have learned from my own mistakes, and that's why I thought it was valuable to share here, because I wanted you to learn from my mistake. Well, now our last problem of being misunderstood, and reason for being misunderstood, is because it's not in our hands sometimes. Yes, let me tell you that sometimes you are not the problem. Only sometimes, okay? Don't start ignoring it just because I've said the last point. Well, the chances are that the other person and you started on a wrong foot, right? That means that person just thinks negative of you. So no matter how well you think of that person, how many good things you want for them, and that is why you're sharing these things with them, they will never take your comments in a healthy way or your suggestions in a healthy way. They will always think of you of that person who is just too much for them to handle, or for them it is you are just being the negative person. So just try and understand yourself in the first position and the relationship you have with the person in front of you. If you get this hint that maybe this person will never want to understand me or my points, then sometimes it's just not you, guys. Alright, now that you have all the reasons in your hands as to why you're being misunderstood, why don't you get the bad communication out of your way and just try to be the person who has a great communication with most of the people around you, and try not to be the one who is misunderstood. Well, if you know someone who is facing the same problem, make sure that you share this with them so that they get to know this as well. Alright guys, that's all for the day. I will see you soon in another lesson, in another video. This is me, Meera, saying ciao.